Sir, I want my next question to you is how does uh, how does the power of education affect the fourth industrial revolution? Because we are in the age of automation and robotics. Is that correct, sir?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the power of education. I think it has to do with it has to do a lot with it, particularly during the fourth industrial revolution. If you look at the prior other revolutions, let's say from the first industrial revolution to the second,
Yes.
if you look at the time, or second to the third, the time difference was about 100 years. So you had a kind of social system, political system, economic system. When the economic system, political system changed, you had about 100 years to actually adjust to it, or so it's pretty much a lifetime, right?
Yes.
But with the fourth industrial revolution, the thing that is extremely challenging for any country, is that we live in a time which is exponential time. Now, what does it mean, exponential time? What took place in 100 years, that happens in a couple, few years now. So now, no education in the world, no particular country in the world is capable of changing, updating their education at that speed. This is just not going to happen. So in a situation like this, if you see some of the things that is happening in the machine age, so there is a amazing book. I recommend everybody to read the book. It's called "The Humility is the New Smart." Now, if you look that book, that humility is the new smart, one of the core arguments of that book is that in the machine age, it's impossible. So if you look at the previous, time of our education, we would actually train students to do one thing accurately. You train somebody to do one thing over and over and over again. What happens is that we become good at it. But with the machine age, what humans will never be able to do, actually beat machine in terms of actually storing and retrieving memory. So if you think about the previous time when, our education was like, I train you to do one particular task. I ask you a question and you're able to produce the answer. And Saqif, you have done a wonderful job and you have a guaranteed job. You go through an education system, you have a university degree, all done, wonderful. But see, in the machine age, what is happening is that machine is going to always be superior in terms of storing and retrieving memory. Yes. Which means that we will have to reimagine education to actually survive and thrive in the fourth industrial revolution. So what used to be a routine task, what used to be a task that is a standard, now it has to be reimagined. That how do we empower students with critical thinking? How humility is the new smart is that now the new smart is that you can go into the zone where you don't know the answer, but if we are not humble, if we don't have that humility, we can't operate in that space. So to be able to go into a space where you do not essentially know the answer, where you can be creative, you can, in the machine age, if you can actually empower yourself by a new kind of education, which is very different from previous education. So where as a teacher, I think that we educators will have to reimagine education if we are to help our young students. And particularly for Bangladesh, this is extremely important because we are painfully conventional when it comes to educating our students, which is all over the world. But in Bangladesh, it's kind of a double whammy. So we don't teach our students to think critically, think independently, don't teach them critical thinking ability, no creativity. I'm not saying no creativity for everybody, but limited scope.
Yes, I agree. It is limited, and also, sir, you mentioned a book. I'm just making a banner. Actually, I did write it, so it's the humility.
Humility is the new smart. Yeah, if you just look it up, you'll be able to find it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I'm just sharing that with my viewers, and I created the banner, and I did show it. So I'm just making sure that I typed it correctly.